Hey everybody, Paul Edwards here. I'm the CEO and founder of CEDR HR Solutions. It's time for the roundup, and we've got 3 great questions, and I'm going to focus on one of them. I typically will pick one and try to expand on a little bit, maybe put a little bit more context on the human side or perhaps on the legal side. In this instance, I'm going to also introduce you to our workplace odor guide. So every year we pick 4 or 5 major things that seem to be going on all the time, questions that we're continuously asked, and expand on them and kind of put them out to you guys. So the question is can employers talk to employees about body odor? But I think more to the point, it's how do you talk to somebody about body odor? And the reason I wanted to expand on this is because I think that it's not an easy conversation for a lot of people to have with other folks. You might feel embarrassed for them or just not comfortable with confronting somebody with this issue. And it also has some legal ramifications. And we cover all of those in the guide. Look, I just want to point a few things out. If someone's coming to work and they don't smell great, it could just be because they're not practicing good hygiene. But we find that most of the time, and by the way, this question is asked a lot in the Solution Center of the HR experts here at CEDR. We have at least 1 or 2 of these a week that is asking for a little bit of help about how to approach this issue with an employee. So getting back to how this can kind of play out. What we found is most of the time there is a reason for this. It could have something to do with domestic issues. In other words, the employee no longer is in their home. They're displaced. They may be displaced with a couple of 3 kids. They may be at a friend's house. They may be couch surfing. They may be in a shelter. But what they don't have is easy access to things like washing machines, dryers, and showers. They're a bit overwhelmed. The last thing on their mind is how they smell today. And I know that doesn't work for us in the healthcare industry. Everybody's got to have no smells about them. But I just wanted to point that out. And one of the first questions I ask is this really out of character for this person? So there can be other medical issues that can cause body odors. And so, look, as managers and as owners, when you got to sit down with somebody, clearly you want to sit down with them in private, and you want to start from a place of compassion. And you want to say something to the effect of, look, it's not an easy thing for me to ask, but I want to know if you're doing okay. And I want you to know that if I was having the issue that I'm about to talk to you about, I would want someone to tell me. And then you just kind of talk about whatever the issue is. Look, on the other side of this, because we get these calls, and I can tell you, I remember the call coming in where all they had to do was remind her that she needed to change her scrubs in her boots because she was feeding horses every morning, and she smelled like horses when she came in. And she's around horses all the time, and she just didn't smell it. And she was like, "Oh wow, thank you for letting me know." In another instance, we had an employee come in, and she smelled like marijuana. She had a pretty strong odor about her, and so they immediately jumped to the conclusion that this employee was perhaps high or using drugs during work. It doesn't matter if it's legal or not. You can't come to work impaired. But they had jumped to that conclusion, but we backed them off just a little bit. They asked some questions of her, and it quickly came out that her mom was undergoing treatment, that she was a licensed caregiver, meaning that she could pick up medical marijuana for her mom, which was helping her mom not be nauseous during treatment. So, and she was protected by the state. And here's the thing. She had gone by the dispensary. She had picked up leaf. It had a strong smell about it. She walked out with it in her purse. She put the little bag in her purse. When she got in the car, she put it in the glove box. But when she came inside the practice, her purse still smelled like it. There was no objective or subjective feelings of her being impaired. And they were quickly able to get to the bottom of it. And she was just more careful when she was taking care of her mom. So look, I just wanted to kind of give you this perspective. As always, we appreciate it when you guys interact with the Roundup. We appreciate all the questions you guys send in. Hopefully this helped a little bit. We've got it's a great Roundup, 3 great questions and lots of good answers. Thanks for your undivided attention, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.